Okay, so I know this is gonna sound absolutely ridiculous right now, based on all the videos that I made this so far this year, and even the videos from like 2025 or 2024, when I was talking all about this existential awareness. I was talking about being outside of society, being an outcast, wanting to stand out, wanting to not be like everybody else, right? But this is not like a permanent thing that I'm gonna decide to switch back into, and you because you can't anyway. This is more of like some type of scenario in which I get to reset my entire identity right now in the way I think at this moment back to how it was 9 years ago, even like 6 years ago. And that is being stupid. Now, when I mean stupid, I'm not referring to dumbass stupid, okay? I'm not referring to that. I'm not referring to can't like have to count to 10, count to 100. Solve math problems with his hands. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just that most likely you're gonna get some looks, especially when you're older. You're gonna be called dumb. Not the dumb as didn't pay attention in class and now I have to catch back up. I only care more about impressing friends and being popular and being funny than actually learning things. Not that dumb, but dumb as in an NPC, non-playable character, a background character, another nobody in the Matrix, another zero ones, one zeros, walking, an individual who was just that, an individual, not in the metaphorical sense, not in the independent sense, but as just a someone, a nobody, a person walking, a body, a regular human. What I'm trying to say is that there's a part of me that kind of wish I was dumb again, right? There's a part of me that kind of wish I didn't know all of these things that I know about society, people, human nature, all these dark things about death, existential. I knew about death back in the day, but the thing was, it's kind of like if I wasn't thinking about it for myself, I didn't really think about it until like someone actually passed away. And then back then I was crying when people died, but now I don't cry when I don't go through emotions like that when someone dies. Sure, I feel a little disappointed, but never to an extent like I'm overly emotional like I used to be back in the day. And that's because I already know that death is pretty much like a part of nature. It's nature's natural selection. It's not like a thing that is a curse. It's just life. That's the nature of, that's the laws of life, nature. We have no control over that. That's just how we were made. Everything passes away, but that's only for a benefit. Don't let anyone else tell you otherwise. You don't have to overly cry and get emotional. Yes, obviously, I'm not saying that if someone were to pass away suddenly, unexpectedly at a young age, either by getting murdered or an accident, that you don't cry. For that, you could be sad, of course, because they didn't have a half of a full life. They didn't even get to live their full life. I'm talking about for someone who's like either has a sickness that's like cancer or some disease that something that messing with them, their body, disrupting everything, and they can't really, they're probably not making it out of this one. Or someone who's old age, who's like in their 70s, 80s, 90s, sometimes it's even 50s and 60s, but that's only a sometimes. That's mostly due to unhealthy decisions and not taking care of your body and just keep on eating unhealthy foods. That would end up happening rarely, but it does happen. But like, I just wish, I'm just thinking of, and not wish because I don't want to go back to it because it was kind of depressing looking back because I wasn't really myself. I was only following what society's script had for me, what I was supposed to do, what everyone's supposed to do generically. Dude, tell me why I was thinking back in the day, I was thinking, yo, I want to have kids. I want to go to college. Go to college, have kids. Oh man, imagine if I actually done that. Imagine if I was so dumb. This is why there's two sides to this whole I want to be stupid thing. Because imagine if I was so dumb, I didn't even think of the idea. I'm thinking of, having a kid at like when I turn 19 or 20. That's what you're supposed to do, or that's fine. That's a good thing. That's cool. That's nothing bad. Dude, it would have been hell for me, especially right now. Especially with everything going on right now. It would have been hell, dude. If I thought already society was trash and we were already slaves in the system, imagine if I had a kid and then went to college right when I turned 20 or when I was 19 or even like in my 20s, early 20s period, because I'm 24 right now. It would have been like, I would have been so depressed. It would have been hell on earth, dude. It would have been straight up hell on earth. Already more than it already is. The fire would just be burning bright. It would be hotter. It would be inferno. But stupid. I want to be stupid. I'm thinking of being stupid to where I was just regular. I was watching everything. I didn't think about none of the shows I was watching and what they were trying to do. Political messaging, things being woke, things just having politics just for the sake of having politics, just to ruin a franchise or a show. I wasn't thinking that back then, dude. I was just watching anything. I was so blind to everything. I was just fine with, I accepted everything with open arms. I didn't question not one thing like that, bro. I didn't question nothing. I didn't even think for myself, dude. But the positivity is, I'm not always overthinking like I am. I wasn't always overthinking like I am now. I wouldn't be doing that. I would just be functioning like a normal person. I would just be going, having fun, making friends, having a girl, trying to get a girlfriend, caring about appearances, looks, working jobs, just enjoying the fact that this is what I'm supposed to do, right? As a 24-year-old, I'm supposed to go out here and I'm supposed to just do basic stuff. It's just life. That's just life. That's life in society. It's kind of crazy. That's how I was back in the day compared to now. It's like looking at two different people. It's like a clone of it's like I just got cloned and I am the latter clone. I'm the clone. And my original self, I killed or something. It's just like unreal. But at the same time, just imagine if I never fought this way. I never fought outside of the box. You know what I'm saying? I never started evaluating the information I received that I was also indoctrinated with for pretty much half my entire life. Imagine, bro. Imagine how the stupid decisions I would have gotten to without thinking of causes and effects, thinking of different scenarios, how my mind works like that. Imagine if I didn't have that and I was just regular, a normal person. I wouldn't have never probably even, I would have probably, I don't even know if I would even still be on this channel right now. I don't even know if I would still be making this channel. I wouldn't even know if I would do the things I want to do, which is art. I think that's the only one thing that I still have is I want to make art. But other than that, everything would have been totally different. If I thought I was if I said loser didn't matter now, the word loser didn't matter in previous videos, words are just words, names are just names, right? Insults are just going to be insults, but it don't affect you because it only affects you because of the connotation of the definition used throughout history and how it was narratively pushed. But I'm telling you, if I never fought I would have been a straight up loser if I was just the NPC me back in the day. If I was Teen Amazing Squad me instead of Columbus Oaks now, I most likely would have. It most likely would have been hell. But at the same time, I wouldn't really know that. I wouldn't really care. I would just be chalking that up to my own struggles, my own thoughts. I would have just been faults, as in like it's my fault. I would have just been normal about it. I would have been like, oh man, I messed up, or I'm stressed. Dude, I would have just been like, I would have probably had an iPhone. I would have probably bought an iPhone. Like back in the day, I really wanted to fit in, dude. I really wanted to fit in so bad. I was trying to be like everybody else. I was even watching videos of people I thought I was influential to me and my personality. Tyler, the Creator. Back in the day, I was watching a bunch of videos in class, or on the way to school because I wanted to be like him. I saw his funny videos and all that, his interviews. He was just like super confident. Didn't care what nobody thought. Didn't give a f about what no one thought about him. He did what he wanted. He was loud. He was charismatic. Sure, he was obnoxious and annoying sometimes, but he was young. He had fun. He just did. He didn't care what no one thought. He was just himself 24/7. And I always wanted to be that. I was watching these videos. I was studying these videos. I was studying these videos religiously. And then I wouldn't even do nothing with it. I wouldn't even apply it to anything. It'd just be like, oh, I just watched it for no reason, just for enjoyment. I didn't take it and like follow through on that. I didn't follow through on it. I just kind of just like whatever, allowed it to pass by, and I still became the lame, like follower, quiet boy that I was. Nothing even changed. Like everything would have just been. I would have probably never. I would have probably went back to school, got a GED, went to college. Like I said before, I would probably have a car right now. And you may be thinking, what's the problem with those things? That's essentials, sure, but it's also a very big price to pay. Literally, it's really like a Damn it! What's the phrase? What's the expression? What is it? It's like a That's like a good. That's like a good whatever. It's like a good and bad thing. If I had a car right now, especially with what's going on right now, I would have probably been paying $1,000. Dude, it's like a mini house. It's like driving in a house on wheels, dude. It's close to an RV. I would rather have an RV. If I'm gonna be paying money like a house, I'll just get an RV, not from a small ass minivan. I would have bought a car. I would have cared about what people thought of me. I would have never fought for myself. I would have probably been blindly watching every single thing, even though like most of them were trash and filled with things that never mattered and just ruined the entire franchise and the whole story of it. I would have just been blindly consuming that and eating that up like gourmet ramen noodles in prison. It would just been like, I would have been so basic, dude. But is that really a bad thing? This is kind of a gift and a curse to be this aware. To have my eyes wide open for this long without ever looking back. But imagine if you had the ability to know all the things you know, evaluate yourself, analyze yourself, look into yourself, but then also start over when you wanted to and just went back to being a mindless, not thinking, just doing human monkey. Imagine if I just been that all day. I think things would have been way more depressing for me. It's depressing. Society's depressing. But I think for me, just the world would be more things would be depressing because of the fact that I would have reacted with very predictable emotions that everyone is supposed to have, right? Because you know that's the way of the war. That's the way of the Matrix. That's how things were supposed to be. Imagine if I just was stupid. I didn't have to think about any of this stuff. I just went along with everything that ever happened. I guess it's a gift and a curse to have this level of awareness. It really is. But for a second, if I can just go back, if I could just see it play out. I mean, I can see it play out, but what if I can just actually go back and relive that type of thought process and that whole identity I had when I didn't even have an identity? Imagine. It would have been kind of crazy. Everything just becomes so much more bleak when you're aware of what's going on around you. Everything just becomes, nothing is really the same anymore. Everything start tasting off. It's like you taste the factory made chemicals. You taste every detail, every texture. You're like Daredevil, like Matt Murdock. Got my senses heightened. You're not seeing what's going on, but you're seeing what's going on, but you don't want to see, and you're feeling everything. That's how I would have been. Dead ass. But maybe I would have been clear. My mind would have just been empty-minded. I would have just consumed it with meaningless things that obviously I think is meaningless now. But to me, if I was stupid, quote unquote, it probably would have just been the way of the land. That's just how it is. That's how the cookie crumbles. Not in a disappointing way, unfortunate way, like, oh well, I guess it is what it is. No, it'd be like, oh no, that's how it's supposed to be. What are you doing? You sound stupid. What are you doing? Why are you doing that? You look weird. You're talking weird. I would have just been, I don't know.